Welcome to the debate. Imagine trying to navigate a massive, chaotic metropolis using a standard GPS.
Okay.
You assume the physical infrastructure is permanent, right? Like a highway doesn't just disappear.
No, of course not.
But what if you're driving 80 miles an hour and an 8-lane bridge suddenly...
Just evaporates right before your tires touch it.
Exactly. You'd crash. And, if you trade the NQ every day, you know that exact sickening feeling when a massive support wall just vanishes right as price approaches it.
Yeah, it's brutal.
So today, we are looking at the concept of trading beyond traditional charts. Specifically, we're analyzing a 25-minute capture of the 3D NEXUS META V8.5 software.
Right, the one visualizing the E-mini Nasdaq-100 order book.
Yes. And I look at this tool and, I see a highly interpretive illusion.
An illusion?
Yeah, because displayed liquidity is fundamentally conditional. And relying on unverified data feeds makes these visual signals incredibly dangerous to treat as certainties. I'll be arguing that it's mostly noise.
And I'll be taking the opposite side, because you're looking at it as just a static picture of resting orders, which, frankly, misses the point entirely.
How so?
Well, when you layer quantitative tools and multi-horizon AI models over that order book, you aren't just looking at static walls.
Okay.
You're actually decoding high-frequency trading behavior in real time. It takes that raw, deceptive market noise and turns it into a concrete, probabilistic edge.
I just have a really hard time calling it a concrete edge when the core mechanism of the book is designed to deceive you.
Sure, there's deception, but...
Like in the capture, we see these massive 3D columns, right? Representing displayed limit orders.
The cyan and magenta walls, yeah.
Right. That's what might happen. That's intention. Then you have the executed volume, the red and green bubbles, which is what actually happened.
Right.
So treating those massive 3D walls as a guaranteed barrier completely ignores algorithmic spoofing.
Well, spoofing is a reality, obviously. Algorithms flash liquidity to manipulate price, we all know that.
Exactly.
But analyzing this software as if it's a naked order book just isn't accurate. The V8.5 engine uses specific modules to actively combat that manipulation.
You mean the iceberg assassin thing?
Yeah. Iceberg Assassin and the Spoof Warden. They leave what they call canceled liquidity ghosts.
Ghosts?
Yeah, they're these fading visual markers that stay on the surface when a wall is suddenly pulled.
Right, so you see a ghost of a canceled order. How does that help?
It's more than just seeing it, though. The software is tracking the frequency and the size of those cancellations to identify the spoofing algorithms themselves.
I see.
So you aren't falling into the trap of vanishing liquidity. You're mapping the exact trap the institutions are trying to set.
Well, mapping a trap is great in theory, but let's talk about the actual mechanics of doing that in practice.
Okay, let's do it.
If you are tracking microsecond manipulation, literally mapping ghosts of canceled orders, the precision and latency of your data feed must be absolute.
Of course. Data is everything.
But there is a glaring red flag in this capture.
Which is?
The feed operates on an MT5 local connection.
Well, it does show MT5 on the interface, yes.
Which means it's retail aggregation. There is no proof in this capture of a native direct-to-CME Globex routing.
Right, but...
Using a localized MT5 bridge to trade high-frequency order book microstructure, that's like betting on a live sports game while watching a delayed broadcast.
I wouldn't go that far.
But by the time that ghost registers on your screen, the institutional algorithm has already executed its sweep. And worse, look at the interface. It shows a tick size of 0.1 for the NQ.
Yeah, the NQ26 contract.
Right, but the official CME standard tick is 0.25 points.
Sure, but...
So if the base scale and the routing are fundamentally misaligned with the exchange, how can you trust any signal it generates?
Okay, well, the 0.1 tick size is easily explained by the software's documentation, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a visual grid resolution setting. It's adapting to the local broker's metadata. It's not a flaw in the actual price calculation.
Still, relying on a broker's metadata for HFT seems risky.
But regarding the latency, look, I agree that a raw MT5 feed is way too slow for HFT.
Thank you.
However, the VS 8.5 infrastructure utilizes a dual MT5 bridge and an aggregate multi-exchange V2 system specifically built to deduplicate trades.
Deduplicate, sure.
And it tracks latency down to 12 to 14 milliseconds.
Wait, 12 to 14 milliseconds?
Yeah.
In the HFT world, 14 milliseconds is an absolute eternity.
Well, it's not co-location at the exchange in Aurora, Illinois. I'll grant you that.
Obviously not.
But the underlying quant engine isn't trying to beat Virtue or Citadel to the microsecond. That's a misconception.
Then what is it doing?
It dynamically adjusts to the market regime to evaluate the intent of the flow. It evaluates multiple horizons simultaneously, from 5 seconds out to 2 minutes.
Okay, let's test how well it evaluates that intent during a real market shock then. Because the capture shows exactly what happens when the latency and the conditional liquidity catch up to the software.
You're talking about the drop.
Yes. Look at the sequence where the market violently drops 85 points. From the 29,260 zone, straight down to 29,175.
I know the sequence.
During this massive repricing, the software fires a buy 85% signal.
Right.
It flashed a strong buy signal right into a total vacuum.
But you have to look at the interface panel during that specific signal. It clearly reads shadow.
Exactly. It's an internal score, and a failing one at that.
It's an evaluation mode.
But look at the counters. The success counters during the entire capture hovered around a 45 to 49% rate.
Under 50%, yes.
This sequence proves exactly what I'm warning against. An 85-point rapid move usually stems from a sudden withdrawal of liquidity, not some massive surge in executed volume.
That's true.
So the software didn't anticipate the vanishing roads. It drove you right off the cliff. I mean, a 45% hit rate during a massive repricing event means you are just serving as exit liquidity for the institutions.
Look, the withdrawal of liquidity causes the air pockets. Yes, we agree on that. But you're entirely dismissing how the prediction oracle actually processes that data.
Am I?
OFI to measure the difference between aggressive buying and selling.
Okay.
And it combines that with the Hawkes branching ratio.
I know the software throws around terms like the Hawkes ratio, but how does that actually prevent you from buying into an 85-point drop?
Because the Hawkes branching ratio measures contagion.
Contagion? Like a virus?
Sort of, yeah. Instead of just looking at isolated trades, it mathematically calculates how one aggressive algorithmic sell order triggers a cascade of others.
Oh, I see.
It assigns a probability to the likelihood of a deeper drop based on that specific chain reaction.
But what about the signal's success rate?
Right, that 45 to 49% raw signal rate you mentioned, that is precisely why the system uses a signal intelligence engine with triple barrier gating.
Triple barrier gating?
Exactly. It runs in shadow mode to filter out low-grade signals during those chaotic air pockets. It learns which signals survive the reaction of the order book and which ones get crushed.
But learning after the fact doesn't save the trader in the moment.
It adapts for the next horizon.
Maybe. But, stepping behind the candlestick to view the microstructure is a profound way to understand the present market. I won't deny that.
It's a completely different perspective.
It is. Seeing the living system of aggressive market orders hitting passive limits, it changes how you trade. But we have to be ruthlessly honest about what we're actually looking at here.
Which is?
The conditional nature of displayed liquidity, the reality of a 14-millisecond delay on a localized retail feed, and the undeniable noise of a 45% signal rate.
Sure, those are factors.
Which means this visualization is a highly interpretive tool. It is not a crystal ball.
Oh, it's definitely not a crystal ball, and anyone trading it blindly will absolutely lose.
Right.
The order book is inherently deceptive by design.
Very much so.
But that deception isn't impenetrable. By layering quantitative metrics like the Hawkes ratio to measure order contagion, and using intelligent gating to track spoofing patterns, you equip a trader to decode the intent behind the deception.
If the data feed keeps up.
Even then, it bridges the gap between interpreting static history on a candlestick chart and forecasting probable execution in the living market.
Well, the complexity of market microstructure is just immense. If there is one thing this material proves, It is that true trading acumen lies in understanding the vast difference between an order displayed and a trade executed.
Completely. It forces you to abandon the comfort of static lines and confront the market exactly as the algorithms trade it.
Which brings us back to our map.
Ah, the GPS analogy.
Yeah. If you're going to navigate a market where the infrastructure can vanish in a millisecond, it's not enough to just see a 3D rendering of where the concrete is right now.
No, it's not.
You have to understand that what you're seeing is merely an intention, not a reality.